Okay, so now we're live. It's
Yes,
working. Cool. Okay. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, Sandra. How are you?
I'm also fine. Thank you so much. We had some technical issues. It's always something. I don't know. It's just,
No,
it's
even
never
I
working.
face it. Almost
Yeah,
in every life that I do, I have to face a technical issue.
so
Mandate.
amazing. Do you remember our IG live like in December? And then we were also trying to figure out, like, I
True.
couldn't join. So it's
Yeah.
always something. I'm so sorry.
No problem at
Yeah,
all. No problem.
good. So I'm just going to tell the people that are going to watch like how it works. So we're
Hmm.
going to have an interview together and I'm going to ask you some questions about English job interviews, public speaking and how
Yes.
everything works. So
Sure.
let's tell also the subscribers and followers that they can ask questions in between. I will write
Yeah.
some questions down and in the end they can also even ask more questions. So we will answer all of them, I hope. But yeah, I want to introduce you because you're my guest, my first welcome to my live, YouTube live. And this is Rinda Gupta. She is a soft skills soft skills coach. She is an expert in public speaking. She's also a Josh Talk speaker. So wow. She has trained over 1,000 students and has helped them with interviews and difficult exams. She has collaborated with so many trainers and coaches in this field. So she really is an expert and she has become my friend. So I'm also very honored that I can introduce Rinda to you today. So good. Welcome, Rinda. How are you? Once again, we have some people here.
I'm good. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. So, all of you who are watching the live, I really want to tell you that I admire Sandra a lot. Not only she's a great coach, but she's a very, very generous and a wonderful human being. I'm so glad I met you, Sandra. I haven't, seen somebody so humble. And thank you for inviting me for your YouTube live. It really means a lot.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Oh, that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Okay, Linda, I also already introduced you a little bit, but would you like to tell the audience and also the people that are going to watch it later, why did you decide to work as a soft skills coach and why are you passionate about this field?
So it is a very it is one kind of a journey. So I started with event management, and I was fully into organizing events, coordinating events, and basically even client conversions was one of the areas that I was looking, basically
Mhm.
wedding planning and all of those things.
Oh, wow.
And a couple of months back, you know that I faced some challenges in life, and it's pretty much there. Yeah, on the Josh Talk platform. So post my separation, when I was recovering, I was in the recovery period. There were a lot of people who encouraged me to start my journey in terms of communication and coaching. I was not very happy with the idea. I was not very satisfied. I was like, I
Mhm.
don't think this is something for me. And they said, nothing comes without trying. Everything, whatever you want to achieve in life, without practice, you can't attain anything. So
Mhm.
it was a journey, like it just took, I think, a week to kind of ideate that what will be the brand name and what will be the entire motto behind the page, what are the
Mhm.
services that we are going to offer, all the strategy, basically the marketing strategy. And when the page rolled out, it was live. I got such a good response from people, and I
Mhm.
remember that one of my friend who's handling the account, he said, you have a very supportive community. And I indeed have, because without them, I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing today.
Mhm.
And Sandra, even you understand the importance of impact, right? So
Yeah.
once you start seeing that progress in a student, once you start seeing that you have created an impact in a student's life, when you can
Mhm.
actually see it, that's when you realize that okay, there is something in you, there is something which is helping people, which is helping learners or students to educate in terms of why English communication is important. So that's how the journey started. I started getting a couple of projects. And for all of you who are listening to me, I started off literally from scratch. Okay. I gave a lot of free sessions because I think when you're building your brand, there are certain things that you need to sacrifice, throughout the way. You need to first start with showing what skill do you have? Why should people really hire you? Why should they take you as their trainers? So I started off like that, and then I started getting projects, because it is also important that I started putting out on social media that I am creating some kind of a result, an outcome, a positive outcome. There's an impact which is being generated. So, and when I started putting out my video content specifically, that's when people see how confident you are in front of camera, how you sort of articulate yourself, how are you presenting yourself. All those
Yeah.
things really matter. So I would say to all the people who are creating content, video content is your go-to. Like, it's going to be kickstarting your career in terms of coaching if you're looking at that industry. So that's when people reached out to me, that yes, you're pretty much confident on camera. So why don't you train our students? And of course, I did interviews, not like I just back projects without just with my video content. So I had to give interviews, and I only remember one thing, Sandra, that I was very authentic. I cannot imagine to be a different person. I cannot imagine to be showing myself or portraying myself to be something else, and in real life I'm something else. I can't handle so much of pressure. I am what I am in front of you, even behind the scene, to my students, to my learners, anybody for that matter. So I think they really liked my authenticity. So
Yeah.
that's how the entire journey started. And I'm so glad that because of this journey, I reached out to you for an Instagram live, and it happened, and it was a great event. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're totally on the same page with
Yeah.
everything you said. And this
Yeah.
statement with being authentic that just like stuck with me, because it's also very important for not just content creation, but also when you're
Right.
applying for jobs, which is
Yeah.
today's topic, to be authentic and to just
Very
be
much.
yourself. Because you
Yes.
cannot pretend to be someone during an interview and then go to work there and you're like somebody
Yeah.
totally else.
Even if
So
you
that's
try, Sandra, even if you try pretending to be somebody else, someone else, to just please the other person, how long can you do that? Maybe a month, maybe
think
two
like
months.
2 weeks. Like I think 2 weeks for me, and then I would like be done. Like I don't know, it's just not working. You cannot pretend to be someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for this wonderful answer. I totally agree. And yeah, you've been working with soft skills for years
Yeah.
now. So could you explain in your own words what soft skills are and how we can incorporate them in our daily life?
Yeah. So let's take this scenario. So all of you who are watching us, you can see Sandra maintaining eye contact with me. You can see me maintaining eye contact with her. Can you see her using her hand gestures while she's speaking to me, so that it's more effective and I can relate to her even more? Can you see me using my hand gestures when I'm speaking to all of you? And Sandra is having a very generous and a genuine smile throughout. Can you see that? You can see her expressions, the way she's acknowledging what I'm trying to say. She's nodding her head. She's saying a yes and no. What are all these? These are all soft skills. So these are basically a non-verbal communication aspect, which is basically more than 77% of your communication. Any interview you go, any person you meet, the first impression that is going to be framed about you is on your non-verbal communication. Only 7% of content that you speak is actually being recognized by people. Balance is all your non-verbal communication. How are you presenting yourself in terms of, are you aware of your body language? Are you maintaining eye contact? Are you acknowledging the listener, or are you looking here and there? And are you, sort of just rotating your chair while you're speaking to somebody? That's again a bad gesture. That's a bad way of presenting yourself. So all these things are part of soft skills. And now
Yeah.
let's take, on a daily basis, you communicate with people. You might meet somebody new. How are you interacting with them? Are you able to initiate a small talk? Small talk is nothing but a quick conversation that you have with a stranger to avoid any awkward silence. And it can be on common topics. How is the weather? What did you
Mhm.
do today? Where are you from? How did you like the food here? Common topics like that. How can you break the ice? And
Mhm.
when you go for your interviews, specifically like Sandra was questioning on interviews, how from the time you're walking inside to the time you leave, the most noted aspect is your body language. Of course, your
Mhm.
approach, your articulation of sentences are very important. I do not say no, but from the time you enter, the way you greet them, you ask their permission if you can sit, and from that time, looking at everybody, maintaining eye contact, smiling, answering, all these things are part of soft skills. And
Mhm. Mhm.
again, let me tell you, there's a very simple incident, Sandra, that I just read on LinkedIn. One of my friend, she posted it. She had the courage to do it. I really applaud her for her courage. She said that she did not have time to iron her clothes for her interview. So in the morning, she was rushing and she just wore a creased shirt. She said it was not too creasy, but it was quite evident. She went inside, and from the moment she sat, the first question that the HR asked her was, "Didn't you get time to iron your shirt?"
Ooh.
So, yeah. So, recruiters notice that. Recruiters notice everything. The way you're
Mhm.
smiling. Are you smiling too much? Are you over talking? Are you not being a good listener? Are you not paying attention to what the recruiter is trying to question you? Because this is what really annoys the recruiter the most, is when he or she is asking you something and you reply an answer which is not relevant to their question, and then they say, we think you did not seem to understand the question, let me repeat it for you. That's a warning signal. So
Mhm.
all these things, right from managing your time to prioritizing your tasks to be able to solve problems, they might give you behavioral questions. What would you do in such situations? How are you using your critical thinking, your decision making, your problem solving techniques to answer? What is your approach to communication? What are the words that you're using? Are they relevant? Are they professional? There are certain words that you cannot, your recruiter is not your friend. You can sit with your friend and you can do chit chat, like, hey, what's up? Long time. You can't say that to the recruiter. So there are a lot of things that we need to keep in mind in terms of a verbal and non-verbal communication. So soft
Mhm.
skill is all the aspects in your daily life. From the point you meet a stranger to how you talk, or to how you are speaking to an HR, or how you're interacting with your friends and colleagues, all these things, they're all part of soft skills.
Mhm. Yeah, I again totally agree. It's all about body language
Yeah,
and also like presenting yourself and
true.
maybe also ironing your shirt because recruiters just notice
Yeah,
what's happening. They notice everything. If you're too nervous and you
definitely.
smile too much, it's also not like
Yeah.
the way to do it. Yeah. So, how would you suggest to my followers and subscribers to prepare for an interview? What should they do before going there?
Hmm. So this is like the see, there are three stages of interview process. So
Mhm,
first is before the interview. How are you going to prepare yourself?
mhm,
During the interview, how is it that you're going to conduct yourself during the interview? And
mhm,
number three is your post interview. What are the follow up measures you are taking to interact or to get a feedback or an update from the HR on your status, on your hiring status, basically.
mhm,
So let's take the pre interview preparation. Ideally, please read the job description thoroughly.
yeah.
It should be in alignment with something that you really want to do, or
Mhm,
in terms of your growth. Very important. So once you have read the job description, find out what are the keywords from the job description. Okay, it might be
mhm,
marketing, it might
mhm,
be administration, it might be assisting, it might be mentoring. There are a lot of keywords there. Take those keywords. Now check with your resume. Very important. Your CV, don't
mhm,
think that just because if you're giving a CV, if you are interacting well, you'll be selected. No, your
mhm,
resume also speaks a lot about yourself. So
mhm,
ideally, the first impression is going to be formed by looking at your resume. So then
Mhm.
it's you.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
in your resume, please do not have too many colors. Do not have a
Mhm.
picture
Mhm.
of yours if not required. If they
Mhm.
mandate, and so like in Middle East, it is a mandate that you need to have your photograph. So if it's
Mhm.
that case, then it's okay. You need to have your achievements, educational qualifications, your volunteering. All these aspects are very important. Now, when you talk about educational qualification, please do not mention all the papers that you have done. No. Take
Mhm.
only the
Mhm.
core papers, how well you have performed, what was the impact you created. Ideally, these questions need to be answered in your resume.
Mhm.
Even in your achievements or in your work experience, especially in your work experience, do not go about writing paragraphs. I've seen, Sandra, so many people writing 10, 15 bullet points, 3 to 4 paragraphs. No HR is going to look at your resume, trust me. They take
Okay.
only 8 seconds. Yeah, only
Okay.
8 seconds to scan your resume. That's the
Mhm.
ideal fact. So just have 2 to 3 bullet points under each work experience. A trick thing is, open the word cloud generator, copy the job description on that. You will get all the important keywords extracted. Now make sure that at least 75% of those keywords are incorporated in your resume, because ideally if they are hiring, they will use a software tool which will reject most of the resumes. Why? Because they will not have those keywords. So your resume is very important.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, research about the company. What is the mission, vision of the company, and align your goals with the job role, of course, and with the mission and vision. Why? Because they will ask you, what do you see yourself? How do you see yourself after 5 years? So at that point, you need to
Mhm.
align your skills along with the mission or the vision, the bigger picture of the company. That's very important. Research. Your clothes should be very formal. Make sure you iron them a day prior. Yes, do not have any crease or any kind of stain on your clothes. That really creates a very, very bad impression. So that's very
Mhm.
important. Now, prepare the most commonly asked questions. See, again, interview is very uncertain. You never know what kind of questions will be thrown at you.
Yeah.
But what you can do, what is in your control, you can prepare the most commonly asked questions.
Mhm.
Prepare them. Please write down. I do not encourage typing, but yes, if you are a little lethargic to probably write, you can type it down, not an issue. Rehearse.
Mhm.
Now, while rehearsing, let me tell you this fabulous tip that I read on LinkedIn by a very, very popular influencer. He said, you record your responses, okay, play them twice. The first time, don't look at the video, just hear the audio and see, are you speaking too fast? Are you sounding nervous? Are you using proper expressions while you're speaking? Are you pausing? Are you
Mhm.
pronouncing the words right? Is your speech clear? Is your question answered well? Now, once those lists are checked, now turn on the video and don't pay
Mhm.
attention to the audio. See the video. Are you using hand gestures? Are you
Mhm.
using expressions, or you have a flat face? All these things. So there are two parts, audio and video. This will help you to actually articulate well during the interview. This will really help you a lot. So practice these common questions. Very important. And of course, now once all these things are done, then you're good to go. And yes,
Mhm.
one tip that I'll suggest is have a green tea or do some, breathing or calming anxious. But I just try to calm myself down. You need to use some positive affirmations, like it's okay, it's all going to be
Mhm.
okay. Whatever happens is going to be for the best. These will definitely help you to prepare.
Yeah, that's true. So I know from myself, like before interviews, I used to be
Yeah.
like super nervous because you don't know what kind of questions they're going to ask. You don't know the people. Sometimes there are three, four people in front of you, and you need to react and be present. Especially what I noticed nowadays, we have a lot of online interviews. So sometimes you don't know like
Yeah.
where to look because they are looking
True.
somewhere else. Like, I don't know. I had
True.
like some interviews where it's like
Yeah.
you try to be present, but then you need to look here, you need to look
Yeah.
there. It's a bit like online is a
Yeah.
different thing, but you also need to be
True.
present and like have nice clothes. I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. So we're on the same page, and just like
Definitely.
calm.
Just so
Mhm. Mhm.
challenging.
Yeah, and it's also like right now we're having some internet problems. So it's also like online, what happens if you have an internet problem and you're like kind of like stuck or the internet is slow. So it's also about that. You cannot control some things and you don't want to kind of like, yeah, embarrass yourself, but this is out of your control in that moment because yeah, it's happening right now. Rinda is a bit stuck. So yeah, see if she's going to come back. I'm going to ask the next question. Maybe the internet is going to be better then. Um, yeah, it's still a bit stuck, but that's what happens. That's just what happens, and it can happen in an interview too. So it's getting better. It's getting
True.
better. Okay, we're coming back. So there is always
It's
the
getting
question, tell me about yourself. It's it's usually the first question that interviewers ask, and it's one of the, let's say, 10 questions that are most common. So what should we answer when they ask us, tell me about yourself? Do they want to hear about our childhood until now, or do they want to hear our life story and our problems? What should we answer when they tell us, tell me about yourself? Because it's such a big question and broad question as
true.
well. So what should we answer?
Definitely. It is, Sandra. It's quite a vague question, if I could say. And people might have different perceptions about talking about themselves. Some people can talk about their stories, some people can tell about the challenges, some people talk about their family background. But trust me, guys, there's just one quote and it's done, which is the recruiter is not your friend.
Mhm.
So any conversation that you can have with your friend, you will not be having with a recruiter. So talking about your marital status, number of children that you have, or let's say where your parents live, what do they do, or what do your siblings do, and what all beautiful places are there in your city to visit. All those things are not at all necessary, and definitely should not be a part about when you talk about yourself. Let me tell you, there is a short form, okay, which we say SEAT. SEAT.
Okay.
That is the procedure, or that is a method that they are going to use whenever somebody asks you, tell me about yourself. What is technical skills? Of course, it is there in your resume. You'll have a separate section, skills, technical skills, what all tools knowledge you have, and then you have your soft skills. It is very important for the recruiter to know your soft skills, because technical skills they know. That's the reason why you're in the next step. So you talk, like, for example, you can say, I am known for my communication and team playing skills or leadership skills, something like that, to create an impact. Again, everything that you say should be in alignment with your job role. Coming to the E part, E is going to be your educational qualification or your experience, or you can say both of them. So you can start off by telling, I have worked for this company XYZ for these many number of years, and I have managed to increase the revenue by 20%. Something like that. Show your impact. Very important. You need to show the impact. That is the statistics to your HR. Then you can also tell, I completed my master's from this university, specialized in, let's say, computer science engineering, or let's say in marketing and HR, any field. Now your S is over, your E is over. Now let's come to A. A is your achievement. What have you achieved? Now you might have achieved several awards. Don't go about talking, I received the best swimmer award, or I got the best badminton player award. The recruiter is not interested. Please talk about the awards which are again in alignment with your job roles, right? For example, you can say, I bagged the board member of the year award, or I got the outstanding student of the year, or in the previous company where I worked, I was a top performer of the year because I was able to generate revenue 20 times more. Things like that which matter to the HR, because the HR will only see how are you going to benefit the company. So that is your achievements. Finally, the T part, which is type. You need to mention the kind of person that you are. I'm a very accommodating and a caring person, or I'm a very self motivated and accommodating person. Things like that. Use a little more action verbs. Don't use the cliche or the buzzwords. Like they say, I'm dedicated, I'm a team player. Rather, you can say, maybe I'm passionate, I'm ambitious, I'm result oriented, I'm a very driven person, I'm self motivated, I have leadership attributes. So, a little more action verbs which will define the kind of person that you are, what can you contribute to the company, and yes, of course, in alignment with whatever role you're applying for. So, follow the SEAT method, SEAT, which is skills, your educational qualification and your experience. The A is achievement, and T is the type of person you are. So that's the simple method to follow.
I love that. I love it. It's very simple
Thank you.
to remember.
Yeah.
See, and then you just follow the steps. I love it. That's very
Yes.
helpful, and I think very useful to a lot of people that are watching this or going to watch later. But I also feel like that a lot of my students especially are a bit shy, and they feel their self-confidence, especially when it comes to English, is a bit low. So how can they build on this self-confidence so when they have an interview that they are present, that they have this image of themselves that is self-confident? How can they work on that?
So this is a very interesting short exercise that you can do, that not just helps you with communication in general, but also in terms of public speaking. Now, for all of you who are watching, let me tell, public speaking is not just when you go on a stage and you're speaking to a wide variety of audience. It is also when you're interacting with an HR. It is also when you're talking to your colleagues or friends. So public speaking is any kind of an interaction that you have with somebody, right? So that is one of the myths associated. Now, coming to this short exercise, what you can do, take a notebook, take a pen, write down 10 things that stops you from speaking confidently. Okay, whatever it can be, 10 things. Maybe I'm not confident in front of camera, or maybe I feel shy when I meet new people, or I don't like socializing with people, and I can't see my face on the camera. I just feel very strange to look at my own face. Or maybe, yes, I become very nervous and anxious right before the interview, or I don't know how to start a conversation with somebody. I'm just giving you examples and references. Write down 10 things, even if it's more than 10, well and good. Now, what you need to do, please strike all the sentences which are not in your control. For example, if the other person is insulting me and if he or she is rude to me, then what do I do? Now, that's not in your control. If somebody else, an external factor, is going to influence something, that's not in your control. So, sentences like these, please strike off. Now, the balanced sentences, those are the sentences which are in your control. So, try working on them. For example, if you've striked out all the sentence. Now the first sentence that you see, I'm not confident to record myself on camera. Start today. What stops you? Only you can stop yourself. Nobody can stop you. Just keep your phone. If you don't want anybody around, no problem. Just look at the pinhole of the camera. Okay? Don't look at camera. You'll get even more nervous. Just look at the pinhole. Now, exactly what I'm seeing is the pinhole of my camera. So I really cannot see myself on the screen. I will not be able to, because I'm looking at the pinhole. Yeah, I'm looking there and talking to you. So I really can't see how I'm looking. Start speaking. Stop recording. Watch yourself. Do that every day. Even once a day would be okay. Now, if another trouble, let us take, you're not okay starting conversation with a stranger. Start small talk. Challenge yourself. Have a challenge daily. Today, when I'm going to step out to the grocery store, I will ask somebody there. Although I know where are the, let's take, although I know where are the veggies, but I'll still ask somebody where are the veggies kept. So I'll probably ask, excuse me, can you please tell me where can I find the veggies? And then he'll guide you, and then you go. You become confident. Like, okay, well, it's not really tough. I did. Challenge yourself every day. Have those sticky notes, okay, in front of you. Have a daily challenge or put a weekly challenge. Today I'm going to do this. Day 2 I'm going to do this. Day 3 I'm going to do that. And trust me, at the end of the day, when you come back and when you tick that, it's going, you are as tough as you thought it was, because these things are in your control. And then what happens when you get that confidence, and when you're encountered with a situation where somebody else is rude with you, or he or she is trying to insult you, you will be able to be polite. At the same time, you'll be confident, and you'll know how to protect your self-respect, because you have already garnered a lot of confidence through your daily challenges. So definitely try these. These are definitely going to help you. Take a notebook and pen today and try this exercise.
That's amazing. I love it. I love this exercise, because really what stops you is really yourself, as you said. It's just you and no one else. So if you challenge yourself every day or every week, like with one little challenge, just try it, get out of your comfort zone, and it's only you that's stopping you. That's so true. I love that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So my next question, we are both non-native speakers. So we learned English, we became passionate about English, every one of us in another way. And we talked in December in our Instagram live a little bit about accents. And I still feel that a lot of my students are shy also when it comes to English speaking, because they have an accent, and they get, sometimes, not every time, but sometimes they get like negative feedback from native speakers who are attacking them and saying, oh my God, I don't understand you. Learn English, So what kind of message would you send to the English learners all around the world that are not native speakers?
Just one thing, guys, ignore. That's what me and Sandra, we both do. Trust me, I think Sandra knows that we both have collaborated with a platform named Eva English, right?
Yeah.
So when I approached them for a collaboration, and they were very happy to get me on board, I still remember I had my I actually gave them a video, as a collaboration post. It was some content on business English phrases or so. And I have the habit of checking the comments, if somebody found it useful. It's for my personal feedback to understand. Yeah. Certain comments were really good. I would have acknowledged comments that would have told me, ma'am, next time can you use a little more advanced words, or probably can you use some basic words for beginners? I would have definitely acknowledged and worked something out on that. Rather, there were some comments, your accent, what kind of accent, and what not. Such harsh, brutal comments. It just, I truly, for all those of you listening, truly, I felt very, very bad. I felt very dejected and disheartened. But then I realized I'm not here to please everybody, right?
Mhm.
I'm just doing my job. I'm helping people with some content that might be useful for them in their life. And if they really have that willingness to learn, they will try to understand it. If not, there's always captions that are there in the video. We always put captions, right? So that non-native speakers, people who do not understand our accent, will actually get help from the captions. Why can't you
Mhm.
read the captions? It's
Mhm.
just a way to demotivate you, to degrade you, to make you feel very low, to pull
Mhm.
you down. The only thing that you can do is, guys, ignore. There's nothing else that you can do. What else can you possibly do? Can you change people? You cannot change people. You can only change your state of mind over here. So even when I did a live recently, I did a live with Eva, I got such positive and encouraging comments, but at the same time there were few people who were laughing at my accent. Now that could have easily influenced or changed my emotions or expressions while I was talking. It didn't affect me. Rather, I told people, I was live and I told them, for those of you who are having trouble to understand my accent, right? You can just probably ask your friends to translate it for you, or if you have any doubts, please put it in the comments that this is what you need, or this is what you need, some tips to improve on your language. I'll give you a comment on that. And then literally after that, few people stopped commenting. So
Mhm. Mhm.
the moment you stop giving these people attention, because they only want your attention, that's all that they want. Even all these
Yeah.
trolls that are there on the internet for so many great personalities, you think that it affects them. But at one
Mhm.
point when they see that, okay, we are not being giving they're not giving us attention and it's not affecting them, they will stop it. So the best thing is, please ignore, move on, do what you like to do. And there are people who are supporting you, who are loving you. Cherish those people in your life. Do
Yeah.
not please give any kind of a room for these people where they can come and they can judge you, they can troll you. It's just not worth it. They have that time basically to do that,
Mhm.
but you don't have that time, right? You want it to be more productive. Why waste your time and energy on people like them? So just ignore.
Yeah, that's so true. I
Yeah.
totally agree. And also, if people are applying for jobs in the
Yeah.
US, UK, Australia, and they have English interviews and they feel a bit like shy about their accent,
Yeah.
I would also say just ignore it. We are all one. We should share this beauty of English that
Very
we can
true.
all communicate with
And
this
Sandra,
language.
even
It's so
your and
beautiful.
my accent is different. I'm from India,
Yeah,
you're from another country,
yeah,
but we've never had problem. So as long as the purpose is served, we are able
yeah.
to communicate, we are able to help people. I don't think anything else is important. Let any XYZ person talk anything about our accent. It doesn't affect us.
Yeah,
So,
that's
we are live examples here,
yeah,
guys. We both have different accents.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get so many private messages where my followers send me a message saying, I don't want to apply for this job in the US because I'm so shy about talking
Yeah.
and my accent, and I don't know what to do. That's why I decided to invite you and do all of this
Yeah.
about job interviews, because I get so many questions about job interviews. And
Yeah.
that's why I also wanted to kind of like speak about
Hmm.
this accent, and not being
Yeah.
shy about how you're speaking. Just ignore it, speak, you have a voice, use it, and present yourself. That's
Yeah,
it.
and the HRs really are not considered about, concerned about your accent, guys. Let me make it very clear. I have, recently I've been, interacting with a coach who has international clients, and all her clients are mostly Indian, but they are in
Oh,
different countries like UK, US,
yeah.
Canada, or so. They tell me, the way they talk, I can understand that, it's a proper Indian accent, but that does not stop them from giving interviews, and they are
Mhm.
getting selected. So there is something, right? So accent is never an
Yeah,
issue here. It is
yeah,
just about your confidence. Just love your accent, okay? Don't change it for anybody. I've not changed. If I
yeah.
wanted, I could have spoken to Sandra like, hey Sandra, how are you? I could have,
Mhm.
but I won't, because that's not me. So just love your accent.
Yeah, I agree totally. It's so true. And I also had
Yeah.
interviews here in the US, and no one cares. Like seriously, no
Yeah.
one cares about this.
No
It's
one.
really about you, your qualifications, your soft skills,
Yeah.
as you said, your education, what type of person
Yeah.
you are. So focus on that and use your
Yeah.
strengths and present them and be present
Definitely.
and
Yes.
blow them away. Like and you will get the
Yes.
job. And also I wanted to ask, they are asking behavioral questions
Hmm.
sometimes. And sometimes they give you kind of like a situation and you have to solve it.
Yeah.
Would you make it like a huge thing where you talk for 10 minutes, or would you go straight into it and give solutions, or would you
Hmm.
explain the situation? How would you do this?
Yeah. Just be very concise, okay? Brevity is the solution for all your answers for your interviews.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very important feedback parameter for all the HRs. Let me tell you, there is a concept of ABCT, okay? So, sorry, yes, ABCT. B is for brevity, C is for clarity, T is for tonality, and A is for accuracy. Accuracy is nothing but your fluency and your grammatical correctness. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, they follow these parameters. So most important thing here is your brevity. You have very concise and to the point. Now, when there are behavioral kind of questions, which will certainly be asked to assess how are you relating it to your own experience, how quickly are you able to provide solutions, and are you a true leader or a team player who can give solutions and who can sort of handle the problem or any challenge that comes up front.
Mm-hmm.
So situation, then your task, and your action. This is the
Mm-hmm.
3-step very simple approach. They have given you a situation, right? So in that situation, what is going to be your behavior, what is the
Mm-hmm.
task that you're going to do, and through that
Mm-hmm.
task, what is the action you're intending to achieve. Any
Mm-hmm.
question, follow this approach. Your situational behavior, how are you going, what task you're going to do, what is the step that you're going to take. Probably, if it's concerning with marketing, I'm going to change the campaign, I'm going to take up a
Mm-hmm.
new ad, and I'm going to have altogether a different element in it.
Yeah.
Explain it in little more detail, what is the campaigning that you're intending to do, and through that, what are you trying to achieve. Because you feel that our revenues, or maybe our we're not getting enough leads, so through this ad campaigning, I'm sure that we can generate 20% more leads than last year on an
Mm-hmm.
average. What is that? An action or an impact? So follow this 3-step approach, and you're good to go for your behavioral questions or situational based questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're almost at the end. We talked about a lot. So
Yes.
if there are some questions, guys, just shoot now. Give them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to watch out. But we can play a game because you played this with me and I want to play with
Oh
you
God.
too. So
Oh,
the game is called Rapid Fire. So
she's copying me, guys.
copying you. Sorry, it was so cool. Now I need to do it with you too.
Oh God.
So I'm going to ask you some questions and you need to
Okay.
answer as fast as possible. Are you ready?
I hope
Okay.
so. Now I can feel the pressure that you must be feeling at that point.
So the first question, favorite city in the world besides the one you live in?
I didn't get you. Can you come again?
Your favorite city in the world besides the one you live in?
Mm, can
Do
I
you have
say that I really want to travel to Paris, but my visa got rejected 3 times?
No. Oh no.
I don't know why.
Why?
Once there was some documentation problem. Second time, I don't know. Maybe they saw my face and I don't know what. I don't know. I'm so upset. And third time, there was some, a crucial situation there in Paris. Like, it was very violent basically. So there were a lot of fights and there were certain attacks that were taking place. So for that reason, it got rejected. So Paris,
No. But
you
yeah,
touched a nerve here, Sandra.
that's also what international students have to deal with, like visa issues or when they're
Yeah.
trying to find a job,
I
getting
dealt with it. None of
permission.
my friends dealt with it. They
Yeah.
applied and they got. I don't know
They
what
got
went wrong with me.
Yeah, sometimes it works the
Yeah.
first time, and then the other times, yeah, that's like something that international people just have to deal
Yeah.
with when they're traveling. It's just, yeah, unfortunate. Next question. Favorite junk food?
Favorite junk food? Pizza.
Ooh. Yeah, mine too.
You know what? I actually don't like junk food too much. I rather enjoy home food, like proper, very, very simple food, you know. But yes, there are times when you have these cravings. So at that
Yeah.
time, it's pizza.
Yeah, I it's normal to have cravings, so sometimes you
Yeah.
have to treat yourself a little bit. Okay,
Yes.
cats or dogs?
Dogs. But guys, I am very very scared of dogs. Okay, I'm very very afraid. So that's the reason that I didn't have any pet at home. But I really love dogs because they're so adorable and they're so loyal.
Yeah,
They're like your best friends
yeah,
when you feel lonely and all of that. But I
uh,
like enjoying the sight from a distance. I
yeah.
can't go near dogs or cats. I'm
Okay,
petrified of
both.
them.
Yeah,
So
petrified. Yeah.
yes.
So I like both. So I don't know. I don't know if I would rather have a cat or a dog. It's
Hmm,
difficult. It's difficult.
difficult.
How many cups of coffee or tea do you drink per day?
Just 1 cup of coffee every morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to have like 2 cups of coffee a day, sometimes three, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it used to be a mix.
Oh,
Morning I'm having tea, and in the evening I'm having coffee. But past few months I'm trying to switch to a little a more healthy lifestyle, if so to say. So I just have 1 cup coffee in the morning because I need that. I need
mhm.
caffeine to actually activate my
Wake up.
brain cells. Yeah. But in the
Yes.
evening, I have green tea.
Yeah. So it's the same for me. I usually drink
Yeah.
one coffee in the morning,
Yeah.
sometimes one in the afternoon when I start feeling a bit tired.
Lazy.
So
Yeah.
I need one more, but usually it's just one. And I also
Yeah.
like to
Same.
drink tea. But my favorite tea is peppermint tea. I love peppermint tea.
Peppermint tea, I haven't.
Yeah,
I've no, I have not tried, but I will
you're
if I get a
you're
chance.
more like the green tea type.
Green tea
Yeah.
is only in the evening, but my mom makes amazing tea. So when she makes tea, then there's no coffee. It's a tea day for me. But if she doesn't make, then it's a coffee day for me.
Nice. Cool. What's your favorite number? Do you have a number that's your favorite one?
Number? Okay, my birth date. 2.
Ah, two. Nice. For me, it's number eight. I don't know. I just like this infinity.
Oh, that
You know, like
interests you.
yeah, the
That loop.
it's not it's not ending. Yeah, the loop. Favorite day of the week?
Favorite day of the week? Do you think you need to ask?
Is it Friday or Saturday?
It's a Saturday. I'll tell you why. Because
Mm-hmm.
I work on Saturdays as well. I work from Monday to Saturday. And
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night is when that feeling starts dwelling that, oh, tomorrow is Sunday, I can take a half day off. So Sunday also I work like for first half a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
Saturday is when I start visualizing, okay, I'm going to have a relaxed Sunday. Tomorrow I can wake up late. I can,
Yeah.
take my bath late. I don't have much commitment. So Saturday is my favorite day of the week.
Ah, that's cool. So mine is also Saturday or Sunday.
Hmm.
I think Saturday. Because
Saturday.
I just like to stroll around the city,
Yeah.
go into stores, drink a coffee. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just relaxing, and you
The
just
weekend vibes,
can
no?
enjoy the yeah, exactly. Last one, texting or calling?
Texting or calling, none.
None. You're not a fan
I
of
would
all of
rather
this.
say, let's just, how it's been for me. Sandra was a texting person, okay, back in my college also. Like 24/7, I'm texting, and I used to talk, even on calls. I used to be on calls with my friends. And then, you reach a point in your life where you're like, somebody wants to talk to me, hi, hello, what do you want to talk, thank you, but I'm there for them. It's not like I'm not. If they are facing tough times, they know that I'll be there for them. But
Mhm.
everyday texting, checking up, and calling and talking for hours, I'm not that person anymore. It's just like, okay, it's just work calls and work texts for me. Other than that, when my friends text, I'm like, okay, I'm working. I'll talk
Mhm.
to you later. And then somewhere
Or
in the
let's
weekend, I
meet.
try and I meet them.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
it. Yes. The meeting
Yeah.
part is, I like meeting and then sitting and talking face to face, talking about how work has been, the day has been, and all of that, but not a texting or calling person anymore. It's just when I have work calls also, if they keep messaging me, right, what's the update with this? What about this? I'll be like, hey, are you free now for a quick call? 2 minutes? I connect with them, speak, done. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still stuck in texting. I text a
texting.
lot. And especially when we moved to the US from
Yeah.
Switzerland, it just started to become this habit to even text more because it's difficult to keep up with my friends and
Yeah.
family differently. It's a time difference, first of all. It's like
Yeah.
8 hours behind. So it's, I think, 5 p.m. now in Switzerland. So it's difficult to kind of like find a time
Yeah.
where we can talk. So it's
Yeah.
just about texting.
Texting.
I would love to meet people more in person, but now it's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm still stuck in the texting mode, but yeah, I also like video calls where I can see the face and we just pretend that we're next to each other. So yeah,
Huh.
it's
Sometimes what
different.
I've done is when my friends have video called me, okay, and they know that I'm not a video calling person. So what I do, I attend and then I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll just come back. I'll call you right back. And then I'll just disappear. And they know that I'm doing it intentionally, but they still have to call. Or sometimes what I do, I switch off my mobile data. So
Yeah, so you
they
don't get
can't
calls
call.
or texts or
Yeah.
anything. That's
I don't know.
actually a
Over
great
a period
idea.
of time, I have
Yeah,
just
it just
I'm
gets too
just
much.
right now a workaholic. I don't text anybody much. Like I do receive text from my friends. They keep checking up on me if I'm okay and all, but I just tell them, okay, we'll meet on weekend or we'll see in the weekend. I'm just
Mhm.
work, that's it. I don't know, I'm just not able to have much conversations now.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of students that are needing your help, your support, your tips and tricks. So you're totally immersed now with working, and that's
Not
also
just
beautiful.
that, but I also try, there are days when I'm free a little, like, I do not have too much work. I just try to upskill, I just go to LinkedIn, I read some posts about
Mhm.
communication, or I just go to Instagram, I see a couple of reels on communication.
Mhm.
I try to learn something. Even now
Yeah,
also I'm trying to upskill, I'm trying to learn about, how you can review resumes, how you can
mhm.
write a great resume. So it's always good, right, to branch out to other services and to upskill yourself. So there, there's
Mhm.
there's no ending to learn.
Yeah,
So I
there's no,
think,
yeah,
yeah,
there's really no ending. So
yeah.
yeah, my dear followers and subscribers, Rinda, do you want to tell them how they can find you on various channels? How can they follow you and get more tips?
So I'm not on YouTube currently. I'm
You
just on
should. You
Instagram.
should. You should make videos. You have really great tips.
I I know I've got a couple of people who have recommended me, please start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
When that happens, that when the time is right, you just feel, you'll not give it a second thought. Just like how my Instagram page right
Mhm.
now, my plate is too full. I have a lot of things going on, so I don't think I'm in the right mind to start a YouTube channel because I have to fulfill my other commitments. So I
Yeah.
will definitely, when I start a YouTube channel, the first thing is I'm going to text Sandra and I'm going to invite her for a YouTube live. But you can find me on Instagram. Just go to Sandra's ID, and
Mhm.
under her following, you'll find Brinda Gupta. So, sorry, Brinda Soft Skills. So you can
Yeah.
follow my page there. I'm also on LinkedIn with the same name, Brinda Gupta. You can see Soft Skill Coach. So I'm there on these two platforms.
Nice. So please, guys, follow her. She's great. She's wonderful. She has amazing tips. Her videos are awesome. I follow them every day, and I also learn something for myself
I
and my
learned from
life.
you. Come on, what are you
Yeah, so
talking?
we're
No,
learning. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Brinda, for taking your time and for being.
Thank you, Sandra, for inviting me.
Sorry for the technical issues in the beginning. It's always like
It's all good.
it's always something with this live.
Yeah,
I don't know. But
used
yeah,
to it.
yeah, we're used to it now. We're used to it. But thank you so much, Brinda. I
Thank you.
wish you a very nice rest of the day. And yeah, let's do it again. Hopefully.
Yes, definitely. Thank you
Definitely.
so much, everyone, for patiently listening to both of us. I hope that you found this session useful. And yes, we will do another live very, very soon. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sandra.
Thank you so much. Bye, Brinda. Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.